Hello again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. On my last video, which I had to kind of cut because I was having trouble with the declaration of strict types. I don't know why, but for some reason it wasn't working. I got out of that whole thing that I had before rebooted my machine. Put up, cleaned out all my buffer from all the browsers, and I was able to get it working. So basically, what I was trying to say is that you can use strict mode by declaring it on top of the script, which I'm doing right here. But I'm going to put comments for now. I'll keep it there like that, right? And you always put it on the very top. I thought you could put it like right here, but you got to put this on the very top, and that will enforce type hinting. So as I said before, PHP is a dynamic type language, which means that a string could be used as an integer and vice versa without halting the execution of the script. With strict mode enabled, PHP will instead throw an error and halt your execution. So remember, strict mode is used to enforce type hinting for scalar types, which is $a. Scalar types, that's what that is. So strict mode can be enabled with the declare statement, which is right here. Let's put this here. Right, let's do a function which I did already right here. See, let's take this out so I can get an error. And in this situation, I'm going to take this out because I was testing something. And what I would like to do is I want to make this into an integer like this. I want to make this one into an integer. And now we're going to save it. And we're going to run it. Boom, an error. Because right now you're telling the PHP, the script, you're gonna be in strict mode, meaning that if you're gonna use integers, make sure it's numbers. If you're gonna use strings, make sure that those are real strings. This is why we had this uncaught type error message. It's ugly. Pretty much we can write things so we can kind of fix this and make this look a little better. But for now, I'm testing this out. I'm going to show you how that works. See, as you can see, I made it. But if I took this out, because I said this is integer, it will work. See, it will get to 30. Because it's looking at this like integer, strict mode. If I wanted to make this into a string, let's go back to that error. And let's say I wanted to just change this to string. Logic's the same. Boom, 30. Remember, before we did this, let me take this out. 1, 2, 3. Let's comment that out for a bit. It still give you 30. Remember that? So if you put even if you didn't have this integer, it's kind of if you did something like this. Space, you still get your 30 because PHP is going to look at this and say, oh look, a number, and you're using a plus sign, meaning that you want to add $A to $B to $A, right? You want to add those two together and you're returning them. So if he sees that is a number, an integer, it's going to turn this into an integer. It does that automatically. But by you doing this, it's the same thing, default, right? But if I did this, take the comment out, save it, you get your bad messages. But if I turn this into a string, because I'm telling you it's a string, see, PHP is going to look at the string because you're using the mathematical operator. It's going to say, well, okay, this is a string because this is a string, right? And we're going to change this into a numeric because you're using a plus sign. Boom, 30. Isn't that great? See how that works? You know, I could also use it as, let me see, if I did this, you know, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but I feel a little dizzy. ADD, maybe I'm coming down with something. Now let's do this again. Let's take this whole thing out. Put it in here. 1, 2, 3. Let me see, we're going to do, I don't know. Let's change this so you know that I'm not lying. 25, 25. How about that? Let's do 25, 25. Oh, let's see. See, it's going to look at it because it's saying this is string right here. So why don't we just make this, change this back to int, save it, boom, you get nothing because we're not echoing, so we're going to say echo $add both variable, which has the results from running the add for function. There you go, 50. If I did a var dump, you see what I mean. Var underscore dump. Okay. Oh. Save it. Boom. It's let's see, echo. This is a line break. Just like it like this. This is gonna do. You can put everything together. It's just for one thing to be right. Wrong thing. Sorry. Put it here. Save it. It moves it down. Tells you what it is, right? Integer, and then it gives you the results. 50. This stuff is good stuff. There's a lot of things you can do. You know, when you're changing it, making this into it's a string, but you're turning it in because you said it's ink. Even if you didn't, and it looks at this, it's let's change it to an integer because you want to add a number to something, right? So that's type corrosion, or they call it type juggling. This tells the function that the arguments you're passing are numeric, right? That's what this is. And even if you pass a string, well, it changes it, right? I'm not going to repeat myself. It's basically what that does. Now let's talk about the variadic function. The variadic function accepts a number of parameters, right? Instead of functions with multiple parameters, you can, you know how you, on the last, I don't know if you did something like this. That's a fun, this was passing multiple value to, let's say, I don't know, let's keep this as 1. If you're passing all this, it's always going to take that 25. So we can change that by doing a splat. We can use a splat. I think it's splat or split like this. And what it does is unpacking. That's what they call it. It takes an array and unpacks it for you. And by doing the splat, which is 1, 2, and 3, this is what you're going to be using on the function side. So let's take this out. Let's start fresh. Matter of fact, I thought I did. All right. What'd you do? So let's say function and you say add, let's give it another name, add all to, let's do this, okay, open and close function. In here we're going to say, let's declare it as a clear it out space equals to 0. Then you can say for each dollar numbers. I also think we're going to use this. I'll tell you what, let me just fix it over here before I forget. 1, 2, and 3 dollar numbers. See, when I'll show you in a second. I'm going to say, instead of having to write this a lot, I'll just say as dollar num. That would be good. Open and close. There you go. Here we're going to, you see the sum right here? We're going to use that. I'm going to say that dollar sum is going to be this equal or plus dollar num. Oh, yeah, my teeth hurts. Brush my teeth too hard. Then I want to return the results, right? Let's see if we get any error. It's going to do anything, but I want to see if it got any error. All right. So basically, what you want to do is this is the function, right? Let's see, make sure it is. This goes with this one. This one goes with that one. Okay, good. So we're going to say dollar hold equals to add all. Add all to. Then you're going to say 5, comma 10, comma 20, comma 14, comma 16, comma 18. And let's echo this. Hold up. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't work. That is the most strangest thing. Let me see something. It's a strange thing. 75. Oh boy. See, when I did that, what it did was it didn't understand it, so it took the last one and gave me 18, but it's this way. You can even do it this way too if you want to. Long way. So you could say dollar sum equals to that. See, like that. You could do it like this, or you could do the short way, which is dollar sum equals. Matter of fact, why am I typing this up? All I have to do is hit this. There you go. And you get to 70. That's what happens. See, what happens is when you add like a whole bunch of multiple values, parameters, arguments, right? This dollar numbers becomes an array. So it takes this and puts it in an array, and how you read an array, you could use the for each statement, and that will read that array. Because you did that, and because you did the split, it knows that it's going to be a bunch of numbers, multiple values, and it'll do it for you. Puts it into an array, and then I'll show you how you can read that even separate, like a separate array. But you can use the for each to loop through that whole array, because right now you got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values, and it'll loop through it 6 times, and each time you're adding it to, because of this here, because you said dollar number as this is what you use. Or you can condense it all more by using a function that PHP provides. I think it's called, should I really take this out? How about if I put some spaces here? Just let's go br, and then we'll use something like array underscore sum, like that, because it has become an array when you're passing it on. So if I did that, should I take all this crap out? Yeah, why not? Take it all out. So if you did this and say array sum, that's one of the built-in functions, and then you say like that, and here I'm going to take this, because remember it's in an array, put it in here, and this will return. Should I just put it, yeah, why not? It will be 75 if you add. Then it'll be 95. Isn't that wonderful? Now in version 8, PHP version 8, right now I'm using version 7, like I showed you on the last video. When you do it like this, PHP info kind of gives it to you, look, 7. In version 8, there's all the things you can do now. Save this. Let's get that out the way. In version, you can name your arguments, and the reason for this is that just in case you forgot to add your arguments to the name, to the same order that you have in the function parameters, it would do it for you. But since I'm not using version 8, it would failed. Let's try this one. Matter of fact, we are experimenting, right? So let's do this. Function. I'm sick of that name. Integer dollar. Oh, I should have never erased that one. A, comma, B. Oops. Let's return $A. Should not erased it the first time. That's okay, I jumped the gun. Alright, so we got that. Now we're going to say $A equals to 5. You could do $B equals to 10. Let's do this. Let's give it a space. Oops. And let's echo the thing by running the function add all, and then we're going to say $A, $B. But it should work. Boom, 15. See how you can do that too? So just in case you forgot to add your arguments in the same order, right? You can kind of do it like, how can we do this? We could kind of like, let's say, well, here, let's say, let's put this int. See, you forgot to do an order. Let's say, oh, let me see. You can actually pass it like this. You can say that B, let's do that. Let me switch it around too so you can see that it works. Let's switch it around. Let's say B semicolon dollar B A semicolon and dollar, what is that? Let's go space dollar A. Oh no, something is happening. I can't believe it. Oh. Half the apartment just lost the lights. I'm gonna have to go check the breakers. Oh boy. Well, let's try this anyway. Boom, you're gonna get that message, see, because you're not using, we're using, see, by doing it this way, B, you can kind of call it later on, right? But because we're not using version 8, this won't work. This won't work. Which is sad, because with this, all I had to do was say, oh, let me echo B, this B. Or let me echo A, just A, not the dollar, but A like that. It would do it. But since we're not using version 8, that'll be a problem. I'm going to have to cut this video because they just lost electricity on one side. I have to go check it, but I will pick it up on the next video, part 3. Again, if you like so far what I'm doing, give me a like, subscribe to my channel. That will help me out. And good night.